Okay, so how AI can help in the field of psychedelic therapy. This is part one with the focus of agents, advisors, and the adult initiation. Let's get into it. The rationale for what led me to create the whole Pentabelt program is basically this idea that by about the 2030s, there is going to be even more disconnection and mental health issues. So the rates of depression and anxiety, they're just going to go up. That's the bad news. I believe it will get so bad that there will be a shift towards prevention of mental health issues. Let's say, like a hypothetical, that I'm in charge of building a cancer center for my community, right? Let's say I'm in a town, an island of 100,000 people, and it's my job to create a program to address the issue of cancer. If cancer is very, very rare, 1 out of 1,000, then my focus is going to be treatment. You know, poor, unfortunate person, bad luck, got cancer, comes in, goes in for treatment. But as cancer becomes more and more common, then the shift will have to be towards issues of prevention, right? Issues of screening. Because after all, you know, my job isn't just to treat people, it's to reduce the overall burden of cancer in this community. Well, when it comes to mental health, you know, if the idea that depression and anxiety are relatively uncommon, then sure, you know, set up your practice, your therapy practice, and if somebody comes with depression and anxiety, brain chemistry, well, then you go in and you treat them. But the reality is that rates of depression and anxiety are skyrocketing. They're only getting worse. Studies are showing that a sense of isolation, a sense of disconnection can often lead to these mental health problems. And guess what? Disconnection, issues of loneliness are also skyrocketing. So based on this, I feel that in the future, there is just going to be a focus where we assume that you're going to have some mental health issues, and it's probably better to resolve those mental health issues before they become a problem. You know, for depression, one of the best things you can do is get moving, you know, do activities, focus on mindfulness. Well, it's kind of difficult to do that when someone's in the throes of a very, very deep depression. It is always better to teach these skills while the person's still relatively healthy. That can help prevent the worst parts of the depression. It can help prevent just a lower mood into a spiral of depression, right? And we see this in other cultures, in many other cultures. As you become an adult, you are paired with an elder. You see this happening all the time in hunter-gatherer societies. You learn to process pain. You learn to process the traumas of your childhood. You forgive those who may have done you wrong, and you learn the skills to connect with others, to process your anxiety and process your depression. It is time to bring that home to what we do. The second major process that led me to create the Pentabelt is, of course, the rise of psychedelic therapy. So just as we're becoming more disconnected, psychedelics are increasingly being shown to be not just safe, but very effective. Study after study is showing that when you do it with a therapist in a nice contained environment and you have proper preparation, the psychedelic experience can be groundbreaking. It can be very, very helpful. Again, it's not going to cure everything, right? A lot of psychedelic therapy work is just accepting that you're going to have certain issues, accepting that you're going to have certain scars, and focusing on what's important. But I believe that, again, by sometime in the 2030s, the real shift will occur where when you think of therapy, you will generally think of psychedelic therapy. And that's going to be a problem because with the adult initiation model, there's just not going to be enough therapists, and it's going to be very, very expensive. So the solution to this will probably be AI, right? Especially with models that gain especially in the post-fidelity world, especially when we get, hallucinations under control, there's just better quality checks. But it seems to me, with the direction of going, that large language models, AI, will become much more advanced and safer and generally more reliable. So I believe that in the future, a person's journey into adulthood will really have three forces. The first will be the community. Part of the adult initiation program is how to connect with others, how to find your tribe, how to connect with them. And some of the best work in psychedelic therapy is learning to connect with others. It's one thing to have a psychedelic therapy session with yourself and a therapist. It's another to do it in a group where you see other people with other issues and you realize you're not alone, and you realize that even though this person has this problem, they're still a good person, and maybe you're a good person as well. And feeling the love and the support from other people, it is very, very helpful. It's very, very important. The second force will be the AI advisor, right? As you're going into this, you're going to want a counterbalance. You're going to want someone to help you navigate the community, right? And that can be AI. It seems strange. It seems strange to, anybody over 30, but I feel that in the future, kids will see AI as invaluable. They'll have no problem sharing their deepest, darkest issues with a chatbot. It's just the future. So you have the community, you have the AI advisor, and you have the therapist who will ideally kind of bridge the gap between these. So the role of the therapist will be to help initiate this young adult both with AI and in the community. So based on all of that, I've created this adult initiation program. If it's my job to help a bunch of young adults better acclimate into adulthood, and I'm creating a big program that involves psychedelic therapy, I'm going to create 5 different levels, sort of 5 different stages. And each stage introduces a separate component of the whole process, right? When I was a kid, I did karate. You went through the 5 different belts. And so I'm doing the same process here. You go in through a portion of it, a level, a belt, then you kind of graduate to the next one. It gives you kind of a sense of accomplishment, gives you a sense of challenge. And the result is after the completion of this, you have a better capacity to resolve issues, connect with others, connect with the community. And because this is a community process, each level, each belt represents a kind of different part of the community. So my focus is California, so each belt will represent a different part of California, a different kind of perspective on becoming an adult. So in the next clips, let's explore what each of the belts are in the 5 Pentabelt program. Thank you.